The woman noticed that the man across from her stared at her every day. So, she told her husband, but her husband thought she was just not adjusting to the new place after moving in. At first, the woman also thought she was overthinking, until she saw the news report about 4 missing women, and the killer had not been caught yet. She immediately thought of the man who stared at her every day, and felt fear, especially since her husband was not home today. She quickly barricaded the door. Soon, there was a loud noise from the neighboring apartment. The woman went to knock on the neighbor's door. The neighbors gathered around. She anxiously demanded the landlord open the door. But when the door opened, there was only the neighbor's cat inside. She turned her head towards the wardrobe. The neighbors began to think she was acting a bit strangely. The next day, the woman heard someone knocking on the door and saw David looking for the neighbor. David said he had arranged to meet the female neighbor yesterday, but hadn't been able to contact her since. The woman called again, and the phone rang from inside the apartment. As David was about to leave, the woman hurriedly asked for his help. She wanted David to accompany her to confirm if the man across the street was the one stalking her. David agreed, but after knocking, there was still no response. David forcefully slammed the door, shouting for the person inside to stop staring at the opposite building. But still, no one answered. After David left, the woman gathered her courage and knocked again. At that moment, an old man opened the door. The woman said she had made a mistake. As she waited for the elevator downstairs, she suddenly saw the man. The very one she had been worried was stalking her. The man hurriedly left, and the woman felt uneasy. That evening, the investigators arrived with the man. The man complained that the woman kept staring at him, even stalking him and threatening his father. The investigators remembered that the woman had previously complained about similar issues. So, they suggested mediation. The man extended his hand for reconciliation. The woman hesitated for a moment, then finally shook his hand. The next day, the woman decided to go out and relax. She went to the cinema to relieve her stress. Just as she was relaxing, she suddenly felt someone enter the theater behind her. Her instincts told her that the person behind her felt familiar. This made her feel nervous. She glanced over her shoulder, but she couldn't bring herself to look directly at him. Only noticing the man was wearing brown leather shoes, the woman felt even more frightened. So, she hurriedly left.